would provide a $500,000 increase for the Army Corps of Engineers Continuing Authorities Program, or CAP, and would pay for the increase with a small $500,000 cut from the Department of Energy's Departmental Administration account. For small communities struggling to pay for $25,000 projects, this minor amendment can be a major help around the country. The CAP program allows for funding of small local projects without the lengthy study and authorization process typical of most larger Corps projects. The program funds projects dealing with issues like stream bank erosion, navigation improvements, and flood control, and is incredibly important to local communities that cannot afford to fund these studies and projects on their own. Two specific sections of the program are vitally important to my district. Section 205, which deals with flood control, and Section 14, which deals with stream bank erosion. The city of Peru, Indiana lives within an area designated as a floodplain because of a ditch that runs through it, but the ditch hasn't flooded in the entire time the city's been keeping records, which is more than 80 years. This floodplain designation has made insurance premiums so expensive, business developers are reluctant to locate to the area, and residents are struggling to pay their premiums. Corps engineers have been to the site, and they don't think the floodplain is correct either. The ditch hasn't flooded. So CAP funds are desperately needed in places like Peru, Indiana, so the Corps can conduct a study to determine whether the ditch really is ever likely to flood, and if so, what type of project could be done to prevent flooding and bring down flood insurance premiums. In a place called Rochester, Indiana, the Tippecanoe River runs along a stretch of East County Road 350 North. The river is eroding soil from underneath the road, and over the last decade, the road has lost several feet of its embankment. The situation has become so dangerous, authorities have closed the road until it can be fixed. An examination is needed to determine how to stop this stream bank erosion, and then a project must be able to be done to fix it. County officials can't afford to conduct the study or repairs on their own. The Army Corps of Engineers said they can conduct the examination and repairs, but CAP funds are needed. However, the Continuing Authorities program is so popular with local communities like Peru and Rochester, the Corps of Engineers routinely receives many more projects than it can fund, and CAP funds for the year run out quickly. Chairman Simpson and his staff have worked hard to address this problem and put together a great bill. President Obama's budget request only provided $10 million for CAP and only funded 4 of the CAP sections. But Chairman Simpson rejected that devastating cut and has allocated $56.8 million for 8 CAP sections. My amendment would provide a small funding bump for CAP that would enable the Army Corps of Engineers to help dozens of communities making very small funding requests. Some people will say that the Department of Energy can't afford another cut to its administrative funding, but that's simply not true. This year's bill provides $255 million for the Department of Energy's departmental administration budget. This is $20.5 million more than last year. My amendment would only cut $500,000 from this amount. That's a 0.19% cut. Given the enormous importance of local infrastructure, I believe this is one very small cut that Congress should make. I urge my colleagues to support this amendment, and I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentlelady reserves her time.